Hey and welcome. If you found this video first, I highly suggest watching part 1 before consuming this video, but without further ado, let's get into it. This move is entirely different from Smash 4 now. The early hit has been completely reworked. You are seeing that correctly. The early hit has two 0% hitboxes, the red and purple. Not only are they higher priority than the one that does damage, but since they only serve the purpose to drag down into the mid or late hit, they lose all trades. I have some crazy advice, but just jump into Dedede when he is charging Fsmash and throw out a hitbox towards his hand. If you're a Hurtbox and those red hitboxes overlap even a bit, you'll get sent to the ground unharmed and hit Dedede for free. Also unfortunate for the move, despite its immense frame commitment, all the sour spots are higher priority than the strong spots. Here is an example of the Fsmash dragdown hitbox functioning and losing trades. Down smash comes out frame 14 and is active until frame 22. Swinging the hammer through the Z-axis, this can be used to ledge trap fat characters' rolls, as the Z-axis part of the swing will hit larger Hurtboxes as iframes wear off during a roll. Down smash is great for catching regular rolls, ledge trapping, and trapping with Gordo on stage. It has two hitboxes that do the same damage, but the purple hitbox has the Sakurai angle, while the red hitbox has a launching angle of 30, which is why the move is perfect for killing near the ledge. The low launching angle of the strong spot sends nearly horizontal, but have you ever had down smash pop an opponent up? Here is an example of the purple hitbox hitting Dedede in the ditto. Up smash is one of Dedede's best out of shield options in Ultimate. It's frame 17 and frame 17 OOS. Its large arc and low hitting hitbox make it a very potent option. With a total of 8 active frames, this hitbox stops when the hammer hits the ground. The move now hits all characters on both sides. In Smash 4, only the backside hit all characters. The move starts killing on average around 100%, give or take. The 3 hitboxes that make up the hammer are the strong spot of the move, all doing the same damage and knockback with an angle of 80 degrees. The hitbox in the center of Dedede, the sour spot, is meant to catch rolls, rolls that don't fully cross up, or rolls where the iframes wear off during the cross up itself. Sour spot has the same knockback and angle as the strong spot, but due to having only 10% base damage, kills much later. Is there a more joyous move in the game than dash attack? I don't think so. Active for a ludicrous amount of frames, a whopping 16 in total. This hitbox is low, and due to its high persistence is perfect for 2-framing. The strong spot of dash attack starts killing on average at 60%, sometimes even earlier with bad DI. Only the early hitbox is considered to be the sweet spot, and the rest of the sour spots are fixed damage, shrinking hitboxes. The early and mid-1 hitboxes are the ones to 2-frame with. Mid-1 hitbox shifts slightly down in comparison to early hitbox as well. Notice how early just touches Dedede's nose, while mid-1 goes slightly over his nose. Mid-2 and late hitboxes shift upward slightly and seem to be designed to catch early ledge jumps or options. Dash attack does not have a facing restriction. It's a check POS hitbox, meaning it can reverse hit. Keep this in mind in some rare instances that dash attack can reverse hit on a 2-frame and stage spike, allowing people to tech. Again, this is very rare. Here are the 3 forms of grab. The white portion of the grab finds grounded opponents, and the red portion of the grab scoops up aerial opponents. As you can see, dash grab is by far the laggiest grab. It's better to do running shield grabs. This way you can run and grab, but you get the end lag of a standard grab and not the end lag of a dash grab. Dedede's pivot grab is large, but not the biggest of the heavies, although it is still possible to do this. You can pivot grab with your back turned to your opponent and still grab them. Here for you doubles players and some niche situations in singles, the hitbox for Dedede's throws all do 4% while the throws themselves do various damages. Down throw is not included because down throw does not generate a hitbox during the throw. Perhaps the most interesting of the hitbox is the back throw hitbox. It covers both sides of Dedede like an extremely fast version of down smash. This can be used to scoop opponents or objects, like Rob's top, and send them behind Dedede with the throw. Here is an example demonstrating this scooping hitbox of back throw. The last of the grab hitboxes, and not a whole lot to say about the grab pummel. Inhale is a beast of a move. Everything you see here are special property hitboxes, search zones, and grab boxes. First off, the move does 5% if it happens to trade with someone on the character grab boxes only. White and red grab boxes are for grounded and aerial opponents respectively. The rest of the hitboxes are dual purpose, designed to both simulate wind as well as detect and alter the trajectory of incoming projectiles. Aside from the purpose of searching out projectiles, the wind of Inhale Cone is simulated by hitboxes that do 0 damage at angles of 170 and 0. Notice how the back shield is blocking the hitboxes so they don't slide. However, since grabs beat block, notice when I space close to the grab box, it can beat out the back shield. Example number 2 with King K. Rool's Blunderbuss. Notice how it waggles up and down in the air until it hits the Inhale Cone, making a straight line for Dedede's mouth. This is the 0 angle hitbox of Inhale. Once spit back out, the projectile resumes its waggle. This is both forms of Grounded Jet Hammer. Grounded Jet Hammer of all charges has heavy armor with base value of 14%, tank 16.8% in singles, as this heavy armor is subject to the multipliers of the match. The armor lasts frame 1 through 14 of the move. Jet Hammer is unique, however, as the game treats the first 17 frames of the move as generating the Jet Engine Hammer model. So the move always has a 17-frame animation window where nothing can happen. Once that window is over, Uncharged comes out 10 frames later, and Fully Charged comes out 9 frames after reaching full charge. The hitbox size and positioning are the same in both moves, but the Fully Charged version has a sour spot. The purple hitbox in the Fully Charged version of Grounded Jet Hammer does 10% less damage, making it kill much later. All versions of Uncharged Jet Hammer have no sour spot. Similar story to Grounded Jet Hammer, except a few changes. No armor on any aerial version of Jet Hammer for one. Hitboxes still come out on the same frames, but all versions of aerial Jet Hammer do reduced damage in comparison to Grounded. However, Grounded and aerial Jet Hammer have the same knockback growth and base knockback. Only the fully charged versions are different. Full charge aerial Jet Hammer has higher knockback growth but lower damage output. This makes them scale similarly on the ground and air. Fun fact about all forms of Uncharged Jet Hammer, or just tapping down B, it uses the Sakurai angle as well, meaning it can jab lock, but it can only do so at 0%. It's impossible to knock down at 0, meaning landing this jab lock is also impossible. But here is a clip of the jab lock. Gordo throw is best treated as 2 moves, the hammer throw and the Gordo. Hammer throw hitbox is active for 2 frames, so it's possible to sandwich hitboxes between these 2 frames and a Gordo and get an auto reflected Gordo. Gordo throw hammer hit can also trip despite not having a trip chance in the script. Now let's focus on Gordo itself. The damage output of Gordo changes on a set interval of 30 frames. The damage has a minimum threshold of 9.5% base damage, but you'll notice that it reaches 9.5% roughly 90 frames into the move and lasts for a total of 41 at this damage. There are no sour spots on Gordo. The colors of the hitbox in this move indicate in the script the size and positioning of the hitboxes. The frame change interval is why Gordo double hits. When Gordo impacts during one damage value, goes through hits done, and changes damage values based on the 30 frame rule, it will double hit if it overlaps a character's Hurtbox during the change in damage value. Gordo does indeed have a check F facing restriction, but it's bound to the direction Gordo rotates. Gordo's rotational direction changes based on its impact with Hurtboxes, more easily explained through demonstrations. Here is an example of the trip from Gordo throw. Now here is an example of how the rotation of Gordo changes. Notice now when I hit the front side of K. Rool, the Gordo changes rotational direction. When I now snipe the backside, notice how the rotational direction doesn't change, pulling K. Rool into a second hit. There is one other bizarre situation, and the proof of Gordo's facing restriction being tied to rotational direction, something called backspin Gordo. If you catch Gordo during hit stun and throw it back to the attacker, the rotational direction will sometimes be reversed. The result is a Gordo rotation opposite the direction of travel. This will send opponents toward Dedede. For the sake of not making this video 10 years long, there are 3 Gordo angles, up, forward, and down. They can be smash input or tilt input. However, Dedede has a plethora of alterations to these standard angles using various C-stick timings. I have a video on C-stick Gordos already linked in the description, but here is a regular smashed up Gordo versus a 1-frame C-stick angled up Gordo. See how much further the C-stick one goes but still retains the bounce properties of the smashed up Gordo? Consider checking out C-stick Gordos below. In the upper left, you'll see Gordo's Hurtbox. This is the zone that Gordo interacts with all hitboxes to be reflected and to be grabbed by the Gordo's search zone. Any hitbox that does 2% or over will reflect Gordo if it touches that Gordo Hurtbox. On the right is the Gordo search zone for being able to re-grab Gordos that have been reflected. Given the original visualization, I think it was wrong, so I have rotated it here by 90 degrees so the larger part of the bubble is in front of Dedede. From my personal testing, this made most sense. In a moment, I'll show you why. Spit Gordos operate on a reduced damage frame timer just like regular Gordos, however due to their increased speed, Spit Gordos have a less frame per interval. 15 frames to be exact versus 30. And last but not least, the Gordo Stick, whose hitbox matches pre-patch Gordo, believe it or not, does a flat 10% base damage when stuck to the wall. Gordo launch angles change depending on type, standard, spit, or stuck. The standard Gordo launches at 60 degrees, all versions. The spit Gordo launches at 40 degrees and the stuck Gordo at 75. Here you can see why I believe the recatch bubble is rotated. This Gordo should be able to be grabbed on the next frame if I buffer a move. Confirmation that it's grabbed from that far away must mean that the search box is properly represented now. Super Dedede Jump was buffed from Smash 4, given more armor and a special 4-frame gap of total intangibility from frames 18 to 21. Up B is sorta treated like Jet Hammer. The initial frames of Up B start up, and then the game counts frame 1 after those initial startup frames in the script. The hitbox comes out 52 in the script, but 69 in-game. This gives Up B that same 17-frame startup as Jet Hammer has for some reason unknown to me. This makes getting the actual armor frames impossible without real-time gifts, which I don't have access to. In general though, there is armor up to the peak and shortly after the starting descent for a few frames. However, Dedede's feet remain armored throughout the entire descent. The GIF of the Up B shows the armor frames as black and the intangible frames as blue. The descending hitbox is 2 overlapping hitboxes. The red hitbox hits and buries grounded opponents, while the purple one only spikes aerial opponents. The landing hitboxes come out frame 3 after landing. The side hitboxes, purple and pink, have 60-degree launching angles, while the center higher priority red hitbox launches at 90 degrees. Stars are generated when the landing hitbox vanishes, and stars move out and persist for 15 frames, doing 5% base damage. Fun fact, Up B Bury is the longest in the game at 3.8 seconds at 0% damage with no mashing. I really do not have a lot to say about this move. This is the ledge Getup attack. This move is armored frames 1 through 26, hitbox comes out frame 24 through 26, so the armor lasts until the hitbox disappears. Trip attack, referred to internally by the game as slip attack, is the result of pressing the attack button while in a trip state, such as after getting hit by Diddy's banana. This move has no armor, but is one of my favorite animations in Dedede's kit. This move has no change from Smash 4, so the hitbox view you see is the Smash 4 visualization. The knockdown attack is the result of missing a tech and hitting the attack button. This move does have armor frame 1 through 24 up until the hitbox disappears. Hitbox covers both sides of Dedede like the trip attack, but does more damage. That will conclude how to learn any move in Smash Bros, along with King Dedede's hitboxes and frame data. Thank you so much if you watched the entire video, as I worked very hard on this two-part series. Consider leaving a like or sharing the video if you learned anything new, as each like helps tremendously. Also, leave a comment if you learned anything new. I love to respond to comments. I'd like to take a moment to honor the people who normally get overlooked for doing this type of work. Without these people, there wouldn't be these amazing hitbox GIFs or websites full of frame data and scripts to go over. Ruben, who prepares and puts up scripts on the internet for all to see. Mishima, a Japanese researcher who is always one of the first people to report changes to moves and character attributes. Kurogane Hammer, a master of all things frame data, created an entire website to dedication to all the details of the moves. Ultimate's data is still a work in progress. One person, 70 plus characters, takes some time. @Struggleton is the creator of 90% of the GIFs I've shown in this video. @ZakiMyro is the creator of any GIFs that show Hurtboxes on Dedede or any armor frames. @MetalMusicMan is the creator of the website and app UltimateFrameData.com. This website combines frame data with hitbox GIFs all in one neat package. The parameters linked in the description are for special moves. Consider looking at these values if there is something about a special move that you cannot find in its script.